Good afternoon and welcome to On Point. I'm Nompumelelo Siziba, coming to you live from Johannesburg. We're just 2 days away from the national election, and with special voting underway, we bring you updates from around the country. My colleague Nzinga Kunta is at the National Results Operations Centre in Pretoria, and she's standing by for us. Nzinga, what's happening where you are?
A very good afternoon to you, Nompumelelo. You're correct. I'm at the Results Operations Centre of the IEC, where stakeholders are going to gather from today throughout the course of the week to see how election takes place, make sure the results coming in are tallied properly, and observe what's happening. People from all over the country and all over the world are beginning to gather here. As the SABC, we have reporters spread out across the country, traversing the length and breadth to make sure that we bring you information about people who are voting. We know that today around 700,000 people have registered for that special vote that's taking place. It's people who perhaps are infirm or elderly who cannot make it to the ballot boxes on the 8th of May are casting their votes today, and we've been finding out what's happening. There is a breaking story taking place in the Western Cape, which is where we start today. Mariska Botha, a very good afternoon to you. What's happening?
Good afternoon to you. Yes, we're in the beautiful Elgin Valley in Grabouw in the Overberg district, and we've got a number of farm workers here who are on strike, citing a number of issues that they face, saying that they had no other choice but to go on strike 2 days before the election. But to give us a quick update about their issues and complaints, let's speak to Karel Swart, and he is one of the leadership of the Commercial Steve Doring Agricultural and Allied Workers Union. That's a mouthful. Mr. Swart, thank you very much for joining us. In a nutshell, what are the issues that the workers face that made you decide to go on strike?
Let me first start from the beginning. We are engaged with the company since 2018. So there's three simple demands. One, workers demand an increase of 250 rand. Second, that workers demand an end to all labour brokers. Third, that workers demand that the compost must be changed, must be converted into family units. So that is the three things that workers demand, and it's very simple. And we don't believe that the company can't meet the simple demands.
We understand a lot of these workers are seasonal, but they've been working here for over a decade. What is your comment on that? Yeah. You said earlier that you view these people then as permanent workers. Yeah. Is that correct?
Yeah. You see, that is why we don't want the labour brokers here. That is why we demand an end to labour brokers. Because why there is permanent work for those workers across the year. The reasons why they keep those workers permanent, unemployed, seasonal workers, because they don't want to employ those people permanent, then they mean that they must give this little bit more what the rest of the workers get, like the workers of Oak Valley. So that is in their benefits to keep them seasonal as long as they can, because by the benefit they're making profit and the workers are losing money. We don't believe there is a need for seasonal workers. We demand that they make all those workers permanent, and they end the contract of the labour broker.
We are less than 2 days away now, actually, from the elections. Are the workers going to vote? Are they going to withhold their votes because of these issues?
Man, that is not a labor. That is not. We have not issue with the vote. We have some reservations about the vote and the politicians and how the politicians behave. But workers were going and vote. Workers go to the polling stations and vote. So yes, workers will vote. Workers will cast their vote for SRWP, and that is the position. So workers will vote, indeed.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Swart from the Commercial Steve Doring Agricultural and Allied Workers Union. I can't believe I remember the full name every time. But I just want to read to you that we have had a response from management saying that they have been in consultation with the specific union for a period of time. They say they have about 233 permanent workers, and that there isn't enough work throughout the year to employ as much people permanently. When it comes comes to the housing issue, you heard Mr. Swart referring to the so-called compounds that he says is on the facility. The farm says they are busy phasing that out and trying to create or form a livable or units for people in the Grabouw area, and they are busy phasing that out. And they say their permanent staff, if I can just read here from the statement, receive an amount of 273 rand. That's the basic amount that a permanent worker receives on this farm, with peaking bonuses along with that. But as you heard from Mr. Swart, these workers feel they've been coming to this specific farm in this specific area for over a decade now, and they feel because they've been coming here for so long that they should be employed permanently. They want better living conditions, and they want a minimum wage of 250 rand per day.
Mariska Botha giving us an update there from Grabouw in the Western Cape. Let's go now to KwaZulu-Natal. My colleague Ayanda Mhlongo is standing by. Ayanda, take us through where